Hey y'all, welcome to this week's show. Sorry it's a day late. For some reason, I thought all day yesterday, I thought it was Tuesday and not Wednesday. I lost track of the days. Well, I know the reason. This has been an incredibly busy week for me. Uh, on Monday, I released a new book, my 12th book. I know this one's not going to be of interest to much of the audience, but I'm Catholic, and in the Catholic Church, we have daily mass readings. The entire Bible is read aloud in church to the congregation in about a 3-year cycle. So every day we have readings for the day. We have a gospel, a couple verses from the Old Testament, a psalm, and on Sunday we get an extra verse from the New Testament. Well, I decided to write an entire book, like a devotional, of reflections or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I call them reflections of the daily gospel for next year. And I did the first 6 months. It was a very tough book to write. Took a long time. Uh, I did it 6 months at a time. So the title of this one is A Daily Catholic Devotional Reflections on the Daily Mass Readings, January through June of 2024. So I released that one on Monday. I was really glad to get it out there basically by the 1st of December so people have it in January when they're ready for it. And so anyway, if you're Catholic or you have a Catholic in your life, this book would make a great Christmas gift. You can buy the paperback from Amazon. Right now, it's the only way to get a hard copy. You can get the ebook directly from me if you want to. And what I decided to do, and I'm doing this with all my books, I've written, I guess, 9 books on herbal medicine, 1 cookbook, and 2 books specifically on religion. So I've written 12 books by now. And I have 2 Substack newsletters. I have Judson Carroll Master Herbalist, which is the big one. That's the one I put out the Southern Appalachian Herbs podcast on every week. And I send out articles on herbs every week. Lots of content. And my other one is called The Uncensored Catholic, which is where I get into politics and religion, the kind of stuff I try to leave off of everything else. Y'all know I get a little political on this show sometimes, but no, I really rip into people like Biden and Pelosi and such on that one. But then, also a lot of discussion of religious topics. For anyone who subscribes to either of those newsletters as a paid subscriber for at least 1 month, 1 month subscription is $8. So that's for as low as $8. From now until January 1, I'm going to give you 2 free ebooks of your choice. You tell me which ones you want. If you want herb books, if you want my book on herb gardening, if you want a Catholic book, if you want my cookbook, I sell. Let me see if I can get my tongue untied. I sell my ebooks. They come in PDF form, so they work on any device for $9.99. So for $8, you can get essentially $20 worth of books free. If you subscribe for longer than a month, you get more books. If you subscribe for a year, you get 12 books. That would be 1 book a month, right? You get all my books, okay? The reason I'm telling you this, I'm doing it as a Christmas special. Of course, you can get it for yourself, but I think it would make a really good Christmas present. If you know someone who's interested in herbal medicine, everybody loves my cookbook. That's for anybody. Or if you have a Catholic in your life and you want to give them a really unique gift that you won't have to pay shipping on. And man, I've been paying a fortune on shipping lately. I carve spoons and such. And people have been buying those for Christmas gifts. In fact, that's the other reason I was so out of sorts this week. I just finished a large gift set for a lady who wanted to give several sets of wild cherry cooking spoons away to her family members. Took a lot of work. I've been carving. My hands are just exhausted, because I do everything, with just an axe and a couple of knives. I don't use power tools or anything. This is a real old-fashioned way, heirloom quality pieces. And in fact, if you want to buy some of my woodwork for a family member or a friend for Christmas, go to judsoncarrollwoodcraft.substack.com. Anything that's on there that isn't listed as sold, I mark each piece when it sells. Anything that's available, I'll put it in the mail to you right away, and you should have it by, you'll have it in 3-4 days, no problem. If you want to order a set that I need to carve, like if you see something that's sold and you say, can you carve something like that for me to give as a gift, please let me know right away. Because, I mean, it does take several days to carve a piece, let it dry, oil it and everything. And as we get closer to Christmas, the post office gets kind of backed up and they say it takes longer to get things to people. And I don't want anybody to be disappointed. I'm not going to take more orders than I can fill. At this point, I could take a couple more orders. That's about it. But if there's something on there right now you would like, and actually next week I've already got several pieces that are drying and are going to be oiled and put on the site for sale. Another cooking set that seem to be very popular, a salad set, maybe a bread board or a charcuterie board, I think. Kind of depends. Anyway, I'll have several pieces there and on sale next week. So if you want to give somebody a nice, handmade heirloom quality spoon or salad set or whatever, I do all kinds of stuff really. Baskets, there are baskets on there. Go to judsoncarrollwoodcraft.substack.com. But even up to the last minute, and I'm actually extending this through January 1, you can give someone a subscription to my newsletter. And with that comes 2 free ebooks of their choice or your choice. And if you want to keep the books for yourself, that's cool. Or you take one and give them one. Just tell me what you want in the email. For as little as $8, no shipping, and I mean up to the last minute. So if it's Christmas morning and you realize you forgot to get somebody, go ahead and order a subscription. I'll check my email Christmas morning and make sure you get it on time. If it's 2 or 3 days after Christmas and you realize you forgot somebody, up until January 1, I'm going to leave this special out there. I just, it's Christmas and I want to be generous. I want people to have, the economy's tough. And I mean, for $8, you can give somebody a subscription to my newsletter and 2 ebooks. That's a big value. And last minute gift, I think, what better, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, I'm not making any money off of it, but a few bucks, after expenses and everything, a few bucks. That's it. So it works out well for everybody. But I just want to do this to be generous. I mean, this in the Biden economy sucks. I mean, just to put gas in our vehicles is costing a fortune, and the price of everything is just doubled year to year, it seems. I mean, even just fixing Christmas dinner, much less buying gifts for a large family, it's pretty tough on everybody's budgets. A lot of people are just putting all that on the credit card. So I just want to give you an option. You can give a really meaningful gift to someone that's going to really enrich their lives and be beneficial. And it's not going to cost you more than, unless you choose to do a longer term subscription, $8. So that's less than a movie ticket. Does anybody even go to the movies anymore? I haven't been to a movie since, I don't know, The Matrix came out? Bowfinger. I think Bowfinger was the last film I saw in a movie theater, and I absolutely loved it. I know that movie is not to everyone's taste, but it was Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy doing a movie essentially about Ed Wood, the kind of famous B-movie kooky director, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. For some reason, a lot of people don't get that movie. I laughed. I have seen it probably 15 times. To me, that and Joe Dirt and The Waterboy are like, all right, maybe Happy Gilmore, I'll throw that. They're some of the best comedies of the, late 90s, early 2000s. And Old Brother, Where Art Thou? Nothing beats Old Brother, Where Art Thou? That is the best movie of the decade, of the 90s or 2000s put together, and 2000s put together. But anyway. And it came out right around 2000, right? So, yeah, I'll give it 2 decades. That was fantastic. Old Brother, Where Art Thou is a pure classic. I was so pleased to actually be playing country music and bluegrass, old-time music at the time when that movie came out, and going to the festivals and getting to hang out with the people that were on the soundtrack. John Hartford. I got to meet John Hartford. Emmylou Harris and Gillian Welch. She was great. I was actually hanging out with Gillian Welch and David Rawlings a couple years earlier when they got discovered. They won a songwriting contest at Merlefest, and we're just like hanging out together, Ralph Stanley. Oh, yeah, man, I got to see Ralph Stanley a few times. He was great. Man, that voice. Alison Krauss and Union Station, and what a fantastic soundtrack That was truly the best. Anyway, let's get on to our real topic, growing your survival herb garden. This is from my book, Growing Your Survival Herb Garden for Preppers, Homesteaders, Permaculture people, and everybody else. And yes, for an $8 subscription to either of my newsletters, either Judson Carroll Master Herbalist or the Uncensored Catholic, that can be one of the books you get for free. Keep it, give it to a friend, give it to your family member, whatever. You can get that one and Herbal Medicine for Preppers if you don't have that one yet. Any of them. I mean, seriously, Omnivore's Guide to Home Cooking, which is by far my most popular book. The people tell me just constantly how much they love that cookbook, and I'm just, to me, it feels really good to do this for people. And I'm really pleased to be able to do it. I'm very thankful to God for enabling me to write these books and giving me this Substack didn't even exist a couple of years ago. I couldn't afford like MailChimp or one of those programs to send out a newsletter to people. I mean, those are really expensive. Substack gives me like a free website and a free newsletter, and they host it for free. So I get to provide to you, my listeners, and to people all over the world this content that just a couple of years ago I could not afford to share. I mean, I used to have websites with GoDaddy. They started out super cheap. It was $1.99 for a website and like $5 a month for hosting and a nice email program that you could set up and send out your own newsletter. Over like a 10-year period, the price of everything went up. They switched you over to Microsoft Mail, Outlook Mail, which would not let you send out a newsletter. And then they started offering the email marketing programs, and I mean, it priced me out of the market. I mean, seriously, back when I used to publish newspapers and magazines, I mean, I thought GoDaddy was great. I had, I don't even know, at one point, probably 30 or 40 domains. I mean, you go pick them up for 99 cents when they had an annual sale, or $1.99. And I sold some of those domains over time. I certainly made more money than I spent. But as they kept upping their prices, I said, that's it. I'm out of the market. I don't have a website. I don't have a newsletter. And then Substack comes around, and my friend Frank Salvato told me about it. By the way, he has the Underground USA radio program. If you want to hear a really good conservative political talk radio program, really good. Frank Salvato, Underground USA. I've been on there a couple of times. He interviewed me, and great guy, fantastic guy. His wife, CJ, is an herbalist, and that's how we got connected. And it turned out we had a lot of old friends from when I used to work in politics and talk radio and such. So check him out. But yeah, he told me about Substack, and thanks to that, and thanks to programs like Prepper Broadcasting Network that will take my podcast to you. Uh, I have an audience, thank God, and I can offer the newsletter, the articles I do every week, the podcasts, the books to people in a way that, I earn enough to make put food on the table. I make a modest living, and you get to have something that I think is really of value, and a gift you can give to somebody you care about that I think is really of value. But yeah, I'm happy. I love the holidays, and I love when I can give away more than I get, and that's what I'm trying to do. So anyway, let's talk about these plants. These are a couple you probably really want to grow. You really want to grow. Now, if in a grid down situation, in an economic collapse, in a major hurricane or whatever, and you couldn't go to the store, thing you're going to miss most first thing in the morning is a hot cup of coffee, assuming you got a decent warm place to sleep. There is just something about a hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of tea that is comforting. I mean, look at in our past wars. I mean, the thing the soldiers wanted most. They wanted two things most. Three things most in the Civil War: coffee, tobacco, and alcohol. That was what was considered necessary just to survive life in those horrible conditions on the battlefield. And both the Union and the South really prioritized getting coffee and tea to the troops. Well, that's true in any situation. You see people at a shelter in a hurricane or a tornado. What do you give them? People hand them cups of coffee. It's just there's something about it that really makes life a lot easier to get through. When we have